ready for action. Food. We're making food here today. Hello, hello. We're at base camp at SB and we're having a spontaneous cooking show because a friend of mine just introduced me to the Instapot and I have never used it and I'm not having any stocks in the company, but I had a few patients of mine that shared with me they love it for making food really healthy and quickly. So I was inspired to just shoot a quick video and kind of to see how it works. Now I always wing my cooking and I never really use recipes, to be honest, and it always turns out really great. But today there's of course a little bit of an added challenge because I never used this pot before. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Great.
So I don't know how to turn it on with this frying option.
So you just
Saute.
one button, push it.
How long does it take to get hot? Should I push it now?
I think just push it and then you can talk about what you're doing.
Oh, perfect.
And just start throwing things in there.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So here's that thing. Should we ready? Let's go start. First thing we're gonna do is going to turn it on, and I love sautéing. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe that we do that again. Off. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first thing, we're gonna saute some spices because it makes them much more digestible. So I just push the saute button, and I'm gonna be taking spices that are very good for the digestive system because the kitchary that we're making today is a meal that is very easy to digest and very cleansing. And so I'm using spices that support that action. Fennel, cumin, and coriander, very good to create good enzymes for digestion. And I love a little turmeric in there, which is really cooling for the liver. And also summer salt, which my teacher Vacha Mishra makes, and it's the best salt on the market. And to begin with, I just take a little bit of oil. You can use any oil, I assume. So I like my food oily, so I put in like a good 2 tablespoons, I'd say, but again, no recipes here. And because I like to mix my herbs up in advance, I mixed up this blend for pitta season. This is for the summertime, and it has all these herbs already in it. And I'm gonna just saute it for a second here. Putting it in. Spicy is good. Now, if you know about Ayurveda, you know that pitta is actually not doing very well with hot pungent spices. So we're using a spice mix that's very mild. So it's not pungent, but warming. So that's really good for the digestion. And while this is kind of sauteing and releasing the aroma, the medicinal benefits of the herbs are getting released into the oil. And so that's a really wonderful thing to witness. Let me tell you what Kitchary is. Let's start right there. Kitchary is a complete protein meal. It's a plant-based food that is made out of usually 50% beans. I like mung beans, and I pre-soaked them overnight to make them more digestible, and half rice, basmati rice. And I used the double amount of water because my friend said it's kind of just cooking, but much faster. So the recipes seem to be the same. And so I am already starting to smell the aroma of the spices coming through. And so that the herbs don't oxidize in the oil, I'm gonna like lower the temperature of the oil a little bit by adding a tiny bit of water to it. Now the healing medicinal qualities of the herbs are also being released in the water decoction, which actually helps it to, on many levels. Now it is releasing the water and the lipid-soluble potency of the herbs. Spices are medicine. They are definitely not just tasting good and smelling good, they're also really good for you. So now that it's a little bit hot, I'm just adding any vegetables that I could find here. I got carrots, and I cut them a little bit smaller so they're cooking a little bit faster than my zucchini. And I'm just gonna stir this up and think good thoughts because you wanna love your food and you wanna put good mojo into your cooking. So stirring this up a little bit. And then what I'm hearing is that you can just add anything to kitchery. And since I don't do recipes, I just love pistachios, good source of protein for my vegetarian diet. So I just took a cup of that. And I also love raisins. It gives it a tiny bit of a sweet flavor. And in Ayurvedic cooking, if you use all the different tastes and flavors, it's really good for your palate and it satisfies your tongue, you know, like really good. So you want to add that to it. One more spoon around, and I'm just gonna do this. This is just gonna happen live. So rice goes in there, beans go in there, and then double amount of water. Okay. I'm spooning it out one more time, mixing it all up. And that's kind of all I'm going to do at this point. So I'm going to put the lid back on. Voila.
I didn't quite get it.
Shit.
Do it again. I'm going to put the lid on. You want to go
Man.
right here.
Ah.
All right?
Oh, now I see. Of course.
Yeah, just in front and then turn it.
I think I'm just pre-intimidated. And I also have to change it now to something
Well,
else,
let's
right?
do this all. You can't. So put
But
the
then
lid on.
okay.
So go back, put the lid on. So I'm going to put the lid on.
So I'm gonna put the lid on, and then I'm changing the setting from sautéing and I guess rice. So I push rice. So I hear that's all we need to do. And even if you're not a big cook, I think if this turns out, let's say, this would be something anybody could do really simply. When that is cooked, when it's done, I'm going to show it to you again and we'll see what it turned out. And then I usually like to also add a little bit of the following items. I love miso soup. It's a great probiotic. So I take a little spoon of miso soup in there after it's all cooked, so not to kill the good bacteria in there. I chop up some herbs, which are really good for you and a great way to get a lot of micronutrients, and a little bit of lemon juice, and then finally divine ghee and, you know, to your flavor. And that's it. And I'm just eager to see. It's supposed to be done in 20 minutes or wait, maybe even faster. Usually it takes hours. So we'll see how fast this goes. All right. Exciting. Feeling so lucky you're doing this with me? Welcome back to the Maharani Academy on the road at Base Camp SPCast. Well, we just spent about maybe 15 minutes or close to 20. This pot, however, finished cooking in 10 minutes, so that's pretty exciting. And it's been on, it says here 0.7 or 0.8 minutes, so it's just keeping it warm. But I hear there's still steam in here, so we want to release the steam because keep in mind this is a pressure cooker, so I'm just pushing this little knob a little bit over to the side. And stay out of your face unless you want to have a bean facial, which I don't recommend. So let it kind of release. And then, yeah, I'm just ready to see what we came up with today and what we made. It's about noonish here, and we're all kind of hungry and ready for some good kitchary. The most easy digestible, most cleansing dish there is. I pre-chopped some lemon, and I took a little bit of the miso starter and I mixed it a little bit in water so it's easy to spoon it in. It becomes a little bit more liquid this way. And I kind of first want to taste it and see if it needs what it needs exactly. So I'm very excited to open it and letting the steam to come down. Come on down. And it's almost finished. I think we can risk it. So I'm feeling brave, so I'm just going to open it. And I hate pressure cookers because they're scary, but here we go. All right, first look. Well, of course it smells good because the spices are amazing. And it looks completely cooked. And the zucchinis did not turn into mush, so that's good. And this, let's see if everything has been cooked properly. The carrots just falling apart. It's pretty awesome. And you want it to look just like that. So you want it to look like a kind of like a risotto without the cheese. So it's much healthier for you. Of course. So I'm just gonna taste it and see how much more seasoning it might need. It's definitely very lightly salted, but otherwise it has a lovely flavor. I'm gonna add now the miso soup, which will give it some salty flavor to it. And some lemon juice, which is really helping the digestion too, but it's tasty and it gives it that fresh feeling. So as I said, I'm not using recipes, so I am kind of going for using my intuition, which is really, God, such a fun thing to use in the kitchen. Anyway, here's my herbs. So I just chopped up anything I've had in the fridge, a mixture of parsley and cilantro, and about, let's say 2 cups that was. But I like meals to be a little bit different each time, so why not deal with that? So I'm spooning it up. And now I'm gonna taste it one more time. I had another, here's my fork that I'm gonna use before I serve it to my friends. Hot. Really good. Love it a lot. So I think I'm just gonna serve it up on some little bowls and see what people say. I like it a lot. So hope you try it, and we'll take it from here. Ciao.
We're gonna have to wait to blow on it for a little bit. It's delicious.